Welcome to episode 64 of Checkpoint Chat. I'm your host, hanging host,
Hanging
Alessandro,
nicely.
hanging real good,
But I'm
real tired.
I'll introduce myself because you real tired.
Sorry, that's Matty Fig.
I'm Matty. Well, it's Matthew Figuera. If you want to get a
Wow, if you're my son, then you have to call me Matthew Figuera.
If I'm your son,
No, I don't know.
how did this happen?
If a child calls you Matty Fig, you're like, no,
No.
you are not on that level.
No. Well, you say that, but there is this weird thing that happens with family and friends in that family calls me Matthew and friends call me Fig. There's no one.
There's no Matty.
No friends or colleagues ever call me Matthew or Matty or whatever, and it's.
I call you Matty. I feel special now.
Yeah, but it's you family. It's very weird though if friends are like Matthew. I'm like, whoa, am I in trouble? What did I do?
How did I refer to you at your wedding? I don't even remember.
I think you called me Matthew or Matthew.
Yeah, I think it was Matty.
Yeah, but it's funny because I had one of my cousins years ago. She was spending a lot of time with me and my friends, and she started calling me Fig, and I was like, no,
this is not okay.
No,
you are family. No,
I'm Matthew, and you're
that's Sir Matthew to you now.
But it's even at work, it's a weird thing because I mean, I didn't arrive at work and say, hello, my name's Matthew, but you can call me Fig. It's sort of, it's a nickname that often just pops up wherever I go because surname's Figuera. It's just an easy nickname. But we have a whole lot of new people joining the office now. And when I introduce myself, I'm like, I'm Matthew, but you can call me Fig. In fact, everyone calls me Fig.
They're like the
why?
fruit?
Yeah. It's like, what? Why? People, and
Yeah.
it's the surname, hello. Although I have had people say, so Fig, what's your surname?
Oh my God.
I'm like, my parents did not call me a Fig. what kind of first name is this? Chris Martin's my dad. My sister's name's Apple.
Oh God. They did name their daughter like Apple. Yeah. But now they're divorced, aren't they?
Yeah. Now she's a...
Or like mutually separated, or whatever fucking term they're trying to recreate the word of divorce. Yeah,
Apple.
We're not divorced. We're just mutually away from each other.
We just don't like each other very much.
Yeah, I will kill him.
I will stab him in the eye if I get the opportunity.
Exactly.
We're not divorced.
Do
they speak like that?
Probably. At least Gwyneth Paltrow. At least.
Yes,
Maybe not Chris. Chris Martin doesn't talk. He just sings all the time. Maybe that's why they broke up.
He's like, I'm not divorced.
Yeah, exactly. I love that Chris Martin in your universe is some like fucking southern singer or something. He's a southerner.
Alabama.
He's like the most... Isn't he British?
He's British.
Like he's a super British southerner.
Listen, that's the first voice that came into my mind.
Sweet home Birmingham. Like
sweet home London.
Manchester.
Manchester. There should totally be a British version of that song.
Yeah, they really should. No, I mean, there must be some like... I don't know, someone on SoundCloud is like, I'm going to make every Southern song British.
I'm going to be the American Chris Martin.
The British Kid Rock.
Oh my God. Wait. Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, Kid Rock is
Fuck
American,
no.
Yeah?
He's the most American in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
To a fault almost, yeah.
So names. What nicknames do you have besides Sandy?
Just Alex. Like at work. It's super weird at work because like I introduce myself as Alessandro all the time.
Yeah.
Just because like if I say Alex and then people read my name, they're like, you lied to me. And I'm like, I don't want to be that.
Take this knife out my back.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
So what's weird is that a lot of the mostly English-speaking people at work, because I work with a lot of people who are Afrikaans, all the English-speaking people like go down to Alex. But then all the Afrikaans people stay with Alessandro. And I'm like, this should be the other way around. This is way harder for you.
How would you say Alessandro in Afrikaans? Doesn't it play into the language?
It's sort of... My team lead actually gets it done like pretty well. I can't really replicate it, but like when he says my name, I'm like, that's fucking accurate.
Like that's my name. You're the
most
first,
people my whole life never get that.
Person in my whole life.
Man, because some people butcher that name.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in saying... Well, how do you say your name?
Alessandro.
Alessandro,
yeah.
Okay.
Some people go Alejandro. I'm like, there's fucking S's in there. Like,
it makes you sound so mysterious. Hello, Alejandro.
Alejandro, yeah. And someone actually at work asked me, it's like, is it Alessandro or Alejandro? I'm like, can you read?
Alejandro.
Yeah.
Like, do I look like Lady Gaga to you?
Exactly.
I mean, but I'm a firm believer in saying names the way they should be said. So I have a friend whose name is Herman.
Herman.
You met Herman
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
wedding.
Not
But
Herman.
A lot of people are like, oh, Herman. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
no, it's Herman.
I try the same, but then I butcher that rolling so badly sometimes, and then it just seems like I'm insulting them.
But some people don't even try.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
a
true.
full on. I have another friend. His name's Arjen, but other people like Arjen. I'm like, no,
Arjun.
Arjen, not Arjen.
That's Arjun sounds like a witch's spell.
Matthew. No, it's Matthew. Get it right. Oh yeah, Arjen is like a witch's spell.
Shani would never be able to say Aryan or Herman because she can't roll her R's like at all, and it blows my fucking mind. Like I'm just like, you just vibrate your tongue, and she's like,
Yeah,
grr, and I'm like, no.
Thing is, it's easier said than that. If I think about Zulu, for example, of course, there's some pronunciations.
clicks.
I'm like, I have no idea how to replicate that.
That's also true. That's a fair point.
You obviously have to practice, but some names it is like it's like, but it's not what I just said. It's like there's this. I don't know,
there's a much better twang to it.
Yeah, there's like a subtle something there that I just can't replicate.
But she would die in like Europe because like every country there, like Portuguese depends on you being able to roll your R. If you can't roll your R's, you're illiterate.
Like, I don't understand you.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Bestay de nata. Okay, no, that didn't have a.
A prego roll.
Yeah, a prego roll. I want a prego.
I want a prego roll.
Be like,
please.
get out of here. Get out of my cafe. Your heretic language.
Me Deus.
Me Deus.
How dare you? Get out.
They do like the sign of the
Sign
cross. Yeah.
Get the holy water.
Never thought this day would come. Someone who can't roll their R's.
Call the priest.
This is the end times.
What's happening?
The four horses of the apocalypse are like chasing after.
I had no idea Shani was one of the four.
Yeah. So what? It's like war, pestilence, death, and cannot roll
Shani.
R's.
No.
Yeah.
War, pestilence, famine, and Shani. Does she have a horse at home?
No, maybe she should get her. She's got two really big dogs. She could ride the dog.
She rides both of them, 1 foot on each dog.
She keeps showing me photos because her dogs are going to like hydrotherapy because they're both really old.
Oh yeah.
And it's so cute, man. It's like a treadmill, and then they empty out this like pool, and then they put the dog there, and then they fill it up to like their like waist or chest or whatever, and then they walk in water. But man, like the dog has like her dog Sammy, it's like a Labrador, has this like yellow. They wear jackets so that the handler can hold them and steer them. But it looks like a little life jacket, and it's just the fucking cutest thing.
Put that dog in the ocean to save lives.
Exactly. It's man, and that dog loves the water, loves the attention.
So
and
is hydrotherapy just so there's no impact on the joints, or
it's so there's resistance. So it's like very small resistance, and you like working that muscle a lot more than if it was just a treadmill.
How old are her dogs?
So she's got a German Shepherd, which is I think 10, and then the Labrador is 11. So they're going through the the old thing. It's like, oh, arthritis. The dogs have arthritis, whatever. And then the Labrador like slipped a disc the other day, so that's why she's there. Yeah.
Shame.
So but they're really cool.
It's so weird though. When you compare dogs to cats, it's like in terms of lifespan, cats tend to live longer than dogs. But it's just okay. Well, not even that. Let's throw parrots into the mix here.
Oh God, yeah.
Parrots live for like ever.
Yeah, those like African greys just last forever.
I don't know why. So a good dog will live 15. Not a good.
Depends
dog.
on the size.
Yeah, a dog will live 12 to.
Like I've got big dogs that will last till 12, but I've got those small little shits that will probably keep kicking till 20. So
yeah, but the cats in general will live to 15, 20 by default. Yeah. And then you throw parrots into the mix, and they live to 80 or something stupid like that. Which is why, I mean, imagine you just buy a parrot. Today you decide to buy a parrot. You keep it your whole life. You die.
And the parrot's still alive.
You have to leave it in the will to someone because it's still alive.
But won't you have to do that? You've got tortoises. They also live super long, don't they?
Have tortoises. Yeah, we have 4 now.
And they
pretty
live
sure those
very
are going to be.
You'll inherit
all of those.
Man, one day you need to get like Lupin just on the back of a tortoise. Just like like the video with the Roomba and the cat, except it's a tortoise and a cat.
The tortoise is just marching around and Lupin's like,
exactly.
Yes, my throne.
My steed.
I can't though. So when we move the cats in, they're obviously very skittish because like, what is this moving boulder? This rock is alive. What the hell? But there's like a mutual respect now where the cats sort of, they don't even go to the tortoises, but they're not scared of them anymore. They'll just walk past them. The tortoises are
like, I'll fucking bite you.
Our tortoises are so friendly though.
They're
They
very
march
friendly.
around. They'll nibble you if you put your finger there. They won't hurt you.
The one is very scared, I remember. Like, I got close to it and I was like, nope.
Yeah, the big one.
Just
Cherapooka,
noped out of life there. Yeah.
she's a rescue. She's an actual wild tortoise. I think the story is that somebody was driving on the road, whatever, like one of those dead stretches of road, and the fault had been on fire. And she was there. Her shell was actually like smoking and that. You
shame,
can
man.
even see the burn marks on her.
Shame.
And so she was rescued, and I think she went somewhere, I don't know, and then somehow got hold
Imagine
of her.
you're a
she's
tortoise and you're trying to outrun a fire. Like,
Yeah.
you're just like,
Yeah, you're like, my house is burning.
Yeah.
I can't outrun this. So yeah, she's very, very wild. But the other two, as far as I know, were raised in
What do they eat? Just
captivity.
cabbage?
Just, yeah, that's the best. Sometimes so generally Tom will give them chopped up cucumber or fruit
like
or,
carrots and
or
shit
veg,
like that.
whatever. But sometimes in summer when they're very active, you can hear them walking around. You go and you look at them, they just look at you and they just start chowing the grass. Like but it's almost therapeutic to watch because they just like stretch their necks and you go.
And they like chew so like methodically. It's
Yeah.
like, I wonder if they'd eat watermelon.
I'm sure they would. They eat a lot of
Watermelon
stuff.
would be dope.
The best is watching them drink water.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
dunk their whole head in the bowl.
Oh, is it? Do they not like put out a tongue or something?
No,
They just
I
like,
don't know. The times I've seen them, they just like submerge their whole head like. Whoosh.
My dogs as puppies used to do that when they didn't understand how water bowls worked.
Oh,
So they
wow.
put their whole nose in there and blow bubbles and be like, this is
What
not
is-
how I drink water.
What is this sorcery?
Yeah, it's so funny watching
Oh,
animals
man.
adapt. Anyway,
Animals, yeah.
this
the
is Animal Podcast, Animal Point Chat.
We talk about dogs and cats and tortoises and parrots that never
Do you
die.
know where the best representations of animals are? Video games.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, every time there's a dog in a video game. Best.
That game is a game of the year.
Okay, so I'm going to start off because we have a lot of games to talk about.
We have, and for a change, it's all brand new.
Yeah, so if this episode is a bit late, this is why. We're hitting embargoes.
But not only that, this is probably like a first for Checkpoint Chat. It's not a.
Yeah.
It's all new games.
All
that have
brand
never
new
been
games,
spoken
not
about
one old game. Yeah,
Yeah.
no retro games.
Go so it only took 64 episodes.
So I'm playing a game where there isn't a dog, at least not yet, but there is a police academy person who dresses up like a police dog
What?
and then pretends to be a dog. It's fucking, I'm talking about Astral
This
Chain
is-
because
of
it's
course,
Japanese as fuck and it's weird.
Anime.
Astral Chain is the most anime game I've played in a long time. It is
I've heard a lot about it.
so it is action anime to a T. It's beautiful.
So,
I fucking love it.
paint a picture. What's the premise here?
Astral Chain is developed by Platinum Games, you know, who
Yusume
seem to be putting out a game every year and a half, which is fucking absurd.
But they've made like Bayonetta.
Bayonetta,
those sort of
they
action
developed
character-
Nier,
Yeah.
they did. I mean, I was chatting to Jeff about this the other day. Platinum is like either really good, and when they're not really good, their games are bad. Like straight up
No middle
fucking
ground,
trash.
just
Yeah.
bad.
Like that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one was garbage. And the Airbender, people like that Airbender one, but I think it's garbage. Or not Airbender, sorry, Legend of Korra, or whatever.
Isn't that an Airbender game?
I think it's a spin-off of some kind, whatever.
Okay.
But Bayonetta is like one of my favorite character action games. I think it's
So good.
better than Devil May Cry still. It's like really good.
Medeos.
Medeos. And Nier is mostly Yokotaru and his weird ideas, but the Platinum Games influence there was really good. And then obviously like Darren's favorite game of all time, Metal Gear Rising,
Which I
Revengeance.
still want to play one
Very
day.
good game. Very
One
good
day when
game.
I'm big and strong and I just remember to get around to playing it.
So the thing about Astral Chain, the big thing that's got to me so far is I think it's Platinum Games' most complex combat game ever. So you're okay. So you play on this like man-made island in this world where like portals to other dimensions have opened up all over the world and made the world kind of inhabitable. So they leave this stuff called like red matter or red something, and it turns humans into monsters because they get like infected or something. And there's also these monsters called the Chimera that come through these portals. And yeah, so there's like this last island, man-made island on Earth where people live, and it's like, you know, brink of humanity sort of thing. But it's like a really cool metropolis. Like things have been okay, and the reason they've been okay is because the humans found a way to basically trap these chimeras that they're fighting against and use them as weapons against them.
Okay.
And they trap them using this thing called the Astral Chain. Hello. It's the title of
Whoa.
the game. Yeah.
How did I didn't see that one coming?
So essentially, when you're fighting, you've got your character who can switch between like a baton or sword attack because you're a cop, and a gun. And that's fairly basic. You've just got one button to attack, and then a button to dodge, like a sort of like Bayonetta's like witch time thing where you dodge and it slows down a little bit, sort of like that. And then you've got items, so like I can throw grenades and shit like that. And then I've got control of what they call is it a legion or legionitis or something? It's your little monster on your back.
Leonidas.
Yeah. So at first you can just throw out your monster and he's like chained to you. So where you move, he's only got a certain area around you that he can and he just attacks automatically.
Whenever you push attack.
Yeah. No. He just attacks. So you can tell him to boost in a certain direction, and if he finds an enemy, he'll engage that enemy. And then you could do like really cool things because you have a chain linking you. You could move him manually. So I could take him and like do a circle around an enemy, like wrap the chain around him, and it would like stun him because it would like lock him in the chain that connects us.
Astral Chain.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool. And like if an enemy is charging at me, I can, if I'm quick enough, make a like gap between me and my legion. I think it's a legion, I don't know, whatever. And let the charge attack hit the chain that's between us. And then we'll catch him in the chain and like throw him back. It's like really fucking cool when you see it in action, because it's like when you're nailing it when the combat's really fast, it's awesome. But now, like, I haven't finished the game, but I've gotten to the point where I'm able to change between what my legion is, so like different types. And each of those has different attacks.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of opened up where I can be attacking, and the little pack where I'm chained to my monster will flash, and I can press a button and we'll do like a combo attack.
Okay.
Or depending on the special attacks for each of the monsters, like the one I've got now does a sort of like a sort of Metal Gear Rising thing where I can slow down time and aim like a sword in a direction and slice. And then there's, other creatures which have other attacks, which, I don't want to spoil, and I haven't got to all of them.
How long have you been playing?
A couple of hours now. It seems chapters are broken up in like files, and each file has got like some side missions and then the main mission and like alternative objectives. So like you can solve like small crimes here and there, or you can do the main quest. And now my dogs are making...
Jeez,
yeah.
That was awfully loud. I'm going to close the door.
Close the door and close the window. Oh my god. They're singing to their people. Matty is busy corralling them. Yeah. What's funny about this is that they'll do this and then they stop almost instantaneously. It's like from 100 to 0. Like,
it's a bit unnerving. When I arrived earlier, I parked outside your gates and all the dogs were mad, like, and they'll just stop. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they're just like, it's like they run out of batteries or something.
Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. Astral Chain.
So yeah, and then there's like little objectives within each file that you can only complete depending on what monster you've got equipped with you. So like certain areas will only be accessible if I've got this creature to dig up the ground, or I've got this one to cut through some laser systems or stuff like that. So it's not open world, but it's like each little chapter is its own little self-contained thing. Yeah. What I like most about the game is just how it looks. It's got this really cool... It's not a cel-shaded style, but it's like almost like a comic book style. Yeah, it's like very neon colors, very bright, and these really bold black outlines on everything, which I love. And it looks phenomenal on Switch. It runs into a bit of performance issues when things get really hectic, but it just looks fucking beautiful. Like from the opening, which is... Platinum Games, bombastic and crazy.
Are there any riding of jets? Is there any riding of jets?
But you do ride a motorbike, and the opening part of the game is like this shoot 'em up while you're on a motorbike.
Of course,
it's like it's some fucking weird ass anime shit, and the story is like it's pulpy and so full of like overacting, and it's fantastic. It's exactly what I need, like end of the world type threat, but also it has the goofiness. Like I said, there's this cop that dresses up as a police dog. It's like the mascot for the police station you work at, but she's so goofy and ridiculous. Like,
why you do this platinum?
In this time when it's like the world is ending, it's fantastic.
Does she ever look in the eye and say bluff, bluff?
She does pretend to like sniff out things and clues, and it's really bad. It's bad and so good.
But yeah,
at the same time.
it's so bad that it's so. It's just, I feel this. I mean, the same with Bayonetta, where a guy I forgot
that little gangster boss is cheesy as fuck.
Yeah, but I remember playing the first one, saying, "Damn, this game can't get any weirder," and it just carries on getting weirder. Then I started the second one. I was like, "Huh, how are they going to top the first one?" And they somehow do.
They make it even more bombastic and crazy.
But it worked. Not once did I think, "Damn, this is too much." I'm like,
it's so good. It's I think the first Bayonetta was the funniest. Was just that dude who always follows Bayonetta, that she calls Cheshire.
Yeah. Cheshire.
Yeah, Cheshire, like the cat. But I don't know what his real name is. Is it Leo?
Luca.
Luca. That's it.
Oh, no, I think it's Luca.
Yeah, but he's just like so goofy and stupid as well. Like.
But you appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Those games are what they are, and it's like, you like it for that reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Astral Chain's that.
Astral Chain's really good. It's like I said, it's because it feels like you're controlling, because your attached monster will attack automatically, but you really have to focus on where he is while you're fighting. Like, you have to move him and wrap enemies in chains. Like, you can wrap whole groups to stun them. And now that I've opened up the combat a bit, now whenever I'm attacking, I have to look for the chances to do like dual combos or stuff like that. So it's a really complex system that is slower, which I appreciate. Like, your attacks feel more weighty and slower and more deliberate, rather than Bayonetta, where it's just like button mashing and cancelling out of anything. So it's taken a while to wrap my head around it, but I'm really enjoying it. Like, I'm absolutely cool. I think by the time this episode goes up, my review will be up, so it's kind of weird because I'll play a lot more.
10.
I don't know what I'd give it right now, but I'm adoring it, and it's like it's a Switch exclusive, and I think it's one of the coolest ones out there. It's really good. Yeah.
I wonder. So you haven't finished it yet, but do you think it'll be similar to? Oh, is it the typical Platinum game in that they sort of want you to replay it a few times? You get grades per level.
Yes, you do get grades. Yeah. Okay. So you even have 3 difficulty levels. You have one which is like story, and then one which they put me on automatically, which was casual, which is like
like, I'm not casual.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And it was like combat's easier, and you get like 6 revives if you die or whatever. And then there's what they call the Platinum Standard, which is like Platinum Game Standard. So you only get 2 retries after you die. But like, I feel the combat is really good there. It's hard and it's fun. And then there's there's a lock difficulty for when you finish the game. But you get ranked certain parts in each case. You'll stop and see like an A or an S, just like Bayonetta.
How have you been doing? Getting them S's?
So far, I've either gotten D's when I've taken too much damage, or gotten A's when I've done really fucking good. Like,
but it's like that. Even so, my only touch point with Platinum really is Bayonetta, and it's the same thing. You just get bad ranks, and then sometimes you're like, I did well, and it's like, nope, just an A. It's like, oh. But then you get S, and I think you get double S and then triple S.
No. You're thinking of Devil May Cry now.
Okay.
Yeah, because on Bayonetta it goes like gold, silver, bronze.
Oh no, you know what I'm thinking? Yeah, it's gold, silver, bronze,
and then you get platinum.
You get platinum. You get pure platinum.
You get pure platinum.
Yeah, which I got once. It's like, oh.
I don't think I ever got pure platinum. I think I got platinum once or twice. Yeah. Like, that's when like you take no damage.
It's not even that. It's no damage. You combo perfectly. You do it quickly. Yeah, I got it once. It's like, okay.
Pure platinum. I just like when you get below bronze is stone.
It's stone.
And it's just that like gangster dude.
It's like, basically, it's like uninstall the game.
You're so exactly. He's just fucking terrible at this. Yeah. So it's like that. It's a platinum game through and through, but I think it's got a lot of heart, and it's got these like downtime moments as well between all its combat, which are more story heavy and more. It's got almost like a police investigation vibe. Like you use almost like a Batman Arkham style system to investigate clues, and then you get quizzed on the clues that you found to piece together your case and stuff. So it's really good. Cool. I really like Astral Chain. Very literal. Yeah, would recommend.
Astral Chain, police detective simulator with anime spins.
And lots and lots of menus. Holy shit.
Oh boy.
Customization. You can also make your own character. So at the beginning you choose between male or female because you play as 2 like twins or brothers, fraternal twins. Yeah. So I chose a girl with a really fucking dope haircut, and now my brother's just an asshole, so I don't like him. I just want to kill him.
What a dick. You want to kill him?
Yeah.
There's nothing more important than family.
But what's annoying is that your protagonist hardly talks. The only times I've heard her talk is like after battle, like, It's like, okay.
Well, that's...
And characters like straight up talk to her and she just stares at them like...
Great exposition right there. Yeah, but games like that, sometimes they're jarring, but they work.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the best example is Half-Life, where the whole time people talk to you, Gordon Freeman, like, oh, Gordon, blah, 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 and you just like... stare them like
they're like, you don't talk much, do you?
You just shake your head.
Persona is kind of weird as well because you make a lot of dialogue choices, but you never hear your character talk. Yeah, but you hear him talk in cutscenes. In the like very animated cutscenes, sometimes you'll talk, and it's like, oh, this is weird. He has a voice. Yeah.
Whoa, where did that come from?
And other times, like people talk to him, and he'll just shake his head, like,
no.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, but how he falls in love in that game without even talking is beyond me. But anyway,
people like the silent, mysterious type.
It's true. It's true.
Persona just demonstrates that. Next game, we got three more to go.
Okay. You go now.
What do you want to hear
Choose
about
one.
first? Control, Modern Warfare.
Control. I really want to know about this game.
Let's talk about Control.
This is Remedy.
This is so Remedy, made by Remedy, people who made Max Payne, Alan Wake, and Quantum Break.
Yep.
I've played all of them, bar Quantum Break and Max Payne 3, but I don't think Max Payne 3 counts. That's
Max Payne 3 is Rockstar. Yeah.
Okay. The only reason I never played Quantum Break was because it was an Xbox exclusive, but it is on PC now.
Mm-hmm.
And
part of the Games Pass.
I actually do need to get around to playing it.
I unashamedly love that game. Like,
well, I mean,
it's got problems, but I fucking love it.
I think I would enjoy it. I love Remedy. I've never played a game of theirs that I hated. Max Payne, geez, like growing up, I played 1 and 2 far too many times. I played Alan Wake probably 4 or 5 years after it launched, and I loved it.
I loved Alan Wake.
And then
awesome game.
So I skipped Quantum Break, and now Control. You play this game, you can feel it's a Remedy game. It handles like a Remedy game, and it's weird in the the way that only Remedy can do, where the story is not straightforward. It's not like you're this person on this mission. It's always like this mysterious backdrop. If I think of with Alan Wake, for example, you're this author, whatever, like in the woods, but you still need to piece together what the hell's going on, because it's
like a Stephen King novel coming alive.
There's sometimes like these weird like nightmare sequences, and the same happens in Max Payne, where you're this cop, but you have these weird like also corridor slash
the nightmare one where you just hear your baby screaming all the time. Fuck.
So they're very good at that, and Control's like modern day Remedy in that they've learned a lot of lessons from their previous games, and they've just poured it into this brand new IP.
So what is
the premise? So the premise is you play as a character called Jessie. I don't know what her surname is, but she arrives at this building called
the Federal Bureau of Control, isn't it?
The Federal Bureau of Control, and the game literally just starts in the lobby. You arrive at it. There's no like opening cutscene or anything like that. You arrive and then you just walk into this building, and that's that. Something's not right in the building though. You walk in, there's no one to be seen basically.
There's that creepy janitor.
You encounter the creepy janitor, early Ari, who obviously lets on more than he knows. But fast forward like 10, 15 minutes, you arrive at an office, and the director of let's just call it Control, this agency, is dead. So, I mean, it's not a spoiler. I mean, come on. So you walk into his office, he's dead, and there's a weapon next to him. And it's this really cool weapon that's... it's. I need to. How do I talk about this game?
Is this the So like from what I've gleaned, like I try to not really follow this game aside from seeing some fucking awesome gifs on Twitter. But my understanding from people I've spoken to about it is that it's got like a Metroidvania.
Yeah. Okay. So I can touch on that. So you pick up this weapon, and you just know that something's not right in this agency. But when you pick up this weapon, you are basically told that you are the new director.
Ooh.
Okay. So it sets
I wish
up
promotions were that easy.
Yeah. It sets up this premise really that you walk in, you're the new director, and now you need to figure out what the hell's going on.
Okay.
And there's this weird force that's sort of taken over the building. They refer to it as the Hiss. The Hiss. Yeah, it's Voldemort.
It's Voldemort.
So the Hiss, the reason I can't go into too much details is because I actually don't know. I've only played the game 3 hours. I'm still trying to figure out what is actually happening. But the Hiss essentially it's some other force or whatnot that takes over existing people.
Okay.
So the enemies you're fighting are actually people that have been taken over by the Hiss. So employees of this bureau that have been taken over, and you use this weapon. It looks like a handgun, but I don't know. I think I'm getting the name wrong, but it's what they call, I think, an object of power.
Okay.
It's like this mysterious
Like Thanos'
object,
gauntlet.
something, where it doesn't use ammo. It acts like a weapon, but it shoots like a weapon, but it doesn't use ammo. It regenerates ammo, and it can be modified.
Oh.
So, for example, I can equip a mod that makes it do more damage to armor, or it can regenerate ammo quicker. But then what I didn't know with the game is I always thought, okay, a lot of the game focuses on this pistol, whatever, this main weapon. Do you not get any other weapons in the game? And this is just me not having watched too many trailers, not knowing too much about the game. But you eventually unlock like alternate variants of the weapon. So it's still the same weapon, but I can switch it now to a thing called scatter, which basically turns it into a shotgun.
Okay.
But
it kind of sounds like the gun in Jack and Daxter, which
is it just one weapon? And
it's one weapon, and you change it to like, this is the shotgun mode, this is the rifle mode,
so
but it's just one weapon.
I don't know how many variants there'll be, but I've got a pistol and a shotgun version, and it becomes very cool in that you've got one pool of ammo, so you use it. So say in my pistol mode, I can shoot 15 bullets. Okay, but that ammo, it'll run out, but it regenerates pretty quickly. Okay. So what I'm having now when I fight enemies is that I'll shoot a few bullets as the pistol. Because certain enemies have different strengths and weaknesses. So you might find that some enemies have a shield, which the pistol's not going to do much against. But then you switch to the shotgun mode, it'll use maybe, let's say, 3 to 4 of those 15 bullets in the clip. And you end up switching between the two. So shotgun, pistol, balancing out your ammo that way. But thrown into the mix, you also get abilities, which is pretty cool. You get, like I only have telekinesis at the moment, but I've seen in trailers and whatnot, you get other stuff.
So you can levitate all sorts of things?
Yeah, in the trailer it shows like there's weird flying moments, whatever. But all these powers come from objects of power. My understanding in this weird bureau.
This weird bureau of control.
Yeah, it's very mysterious. So I know I've explained it poorly, I know. But it's because the game doesn't let you know too much what's going on. You piecing it together. As you walk through the agency, you'll pick up pieces of lore, basically. You'll find like memos or letters from one person to the other. But what makes it very cool is that because it is this mysterious agency, a lot of the stuff in those texts has been blacked out. So it'll be like...
declassified or whatever?
It's like the weapon is currently in the possession of blacked art. They found it at blacked art. But obviously, the more you find these memos, you start to piece together... Well, I'm hoping to piece together more of like, what does this agency actually do? Because at the moment, it seems like they just exist. And
so you don't know, like, you're this director of this agency, but you don't really know what your purpose is.
So Jessie obviously has some deeper link to the agency, which they haven't led on too much. The only thing I do know is that she says it pretty early in the game that I think her brother was taken by the agency. So she has some reference to it, and the reason she found it is because she's been looking for it her whole life. And the game starts literally with you walking in. That's
so
the premise of it.
It's not like she worked there.
No. You walk in, but that's why it's so weird, because you arrive and then there's obviously some deeper mystery happening, and you become the director. So it's like, what the fuck is going on here? You know, you're the director now. You're responsible for the agency. You have to get rid of this weird threat called the Hiss, and you've got your mission is to just get rid of him. That's my basic mission at the moment, is to do that. But obviously, there's a lot more.
And have you seen the sort of Metroidvania structure where it's like you can't enter this area?
Yeah, the only thing I've seen is that you get some areas are locked off by key cards. So, for example, it'd be like, this is a level clearance 3. I've only got like a key card level 1. So it's like, okay, I need to remember to come back here. Maybe there's loot here. Maybe there's a different mod, that sort of thing. But I can tell you, I know I've done a very bad job of explaining, but it's because...
It's confusing,
It is confusing. I'm still figuring out the game.
you just watched that launch trailer and it's confusing.
You're like, what the hell's going on? I don't even know who... Like, I know the Hiss is the enemy, but I'm assuming there's some bigger threat behind this whole takeover, whatever. But 3 hours in, it's still like baby days. What I can tell you, though, is that it feels good.
The combat feels good.
The combat feels, it's very satisfying. The pistol and the shotgun. Visually, this game, I'm playing it on PC.
Beautiful.
It's the first time I've personally seen RTX firsthand. Okay.
It's probably the best RTX implementation I've seen so
you
far.
reckon?
Yeah.
Because I walked into the lobby with the opening of the game and I just spent a good 5 minutes looking at the floor.
It's stunning.
I'm like, this is really cool. I can understand why RTX is such a big deal now. And so Jeff's also playing it at the same time.
He's told me it almost feels like a next-gen game.
It's so weird, because we've been talking on and off about things we've experienced. And the one thing he pointed out is that when you're walking through offices, you have, glass and you see your reflection in them. And I hadn't actually paid attention. Now I'm very aware, like, that's very new. Like, it's not unless a programmer or studios specifically put like a pre-rendered, you know what I mean? Like in some old games, you walk in front of a mirror.
You have a reflective
and it's a reflective something, but it doesn't quite have that same level of realism.
It's got the crispness, like at E3, NVIDIA showcased the RTX features in that game, and it's like goes beyond that. It's like gives room depth with like really fancy lighting features, and like when you said you had telekinesis, so when you picking up metallic objects and throwing them and they're reflecting light and fire and it's fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean the one of the more obvious uses of RTX, I think, is whenever you get a new power, you take into what's called the astral plane. So I must just say this.
Astral Chain.
It's a crossover game you didn't know you needed. So you're the director, but there is a mysterious force that I don't know yet called the board.
Okay.
They're your
shareholders.
I don't know. This game, it's still a lot to figure out. But that's what makes Remedy like.
That's why I love them. They're weird.
The games are weird, and even by the end of them, sometimes you're like, I need to go do some reading.
Like Alan Wake was fucking weird.
Alan Wake was super weird, and then in this game, there's the board, and every time you get a new. It's an item or new ability, you take into what's called the astral plane. It's like a tutorial, but it's them. My understanding is that it's almost like the board, like teaching you or seeing if you're worthy of having this ability.
Okay.
But what I'm getting at is on the astral plane, it's literally just pure white everywhere, and there's just these weird like floating blocks. But they are shiny as fuck, and they look really nice.
Like we're putting this RTX
in here. But yeah, I'm very keen to play more.
I've seen some wild gifs of this game just through the marketing, like Jessie levitating and grabbing like shit and throwing it. She looks like a superhero. It looks awesome.
I must say, so telekinesis isn't a new thing in games. It's not uncommon to have a game where you pick up stuff, you throw it at an enemy. In this game, it's so satisfying. It's almost dumbed down, which some people might not like, in that you literally just push a button to levitate and you look at an enemy and you let go of the button and it automatically throws whatever object you have.
But that lets you feel like powerful.
It makes you feel very powerful. And the thing is, it doesn't feel like it's broken because, I mean, I haven't fought too many enemies, but they're not throwing one enemy at me at a time. It's a variety of enemies. So you have to be quick and you have to get rid of them very quickly. So it's like telekinesis, throw it at that enemy, shoot that enemy, telekinesis, throw it at another enemy. And it feels very satisfying. Yeah. I mean, still, early days, I imagine the further I get, it's going to get more complicated of like, swap to this mode, be sure to use this, mix and match. And that's what makes games like that satisfying to me, whereas you're busy stringing together and figuring out what's the best sort of combo to get through whatever's thrown at you.
This is part of the reason why I liked Quantum Break, because its story was interesting, but it wasn't the typical weird, really, really fascinating Remedy game, but the combat in that game is sublime. Like, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I haven't played it, but I remember watching it and thinking, shit, they do some cool things with time, like time bubbles and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just the brief, I mean, I've played Control for maybe half an hour. Just the feeling of moving around and stuff like that feels very similar. So I was like immediately like, oh, okay, cool. They've just iterated on this really good system. So.
And Remedy are also, one thing I also want to point out, they're very good at, they explore film in games in a way that I don't think many studios do. So Quantum Break, the big thing with that was, you play the game and then you sit down, you watch almost like an episode of a show. It's like an hour long or 40-minute long.
Yeah, I was around about there between each chapter. Yeah.
So it's like literally you play the game, okay, now go grab your popcorn. We're going to sit and make you watch this live action version of whatever. So in Control, there's none of that, but some of the lore things you pick up, you'll go to a TV and put on a video and it'll be a live action something.
Oh, like Alan Wake did that a lot.
Yeah, Alan Wake also did that. It's like, it's a scientist explaining something that you find. And it's such a weird, like, you're in a game, but now you're watching like a live
love
person.
that.
It's such a cool like blurring of the mediums, which I really enjoy.
It's like in Alan Wake, they had their like play on the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
You'd watch the TV series.
Yeah, but I'm
like
not
that.
talking. So they've got I'm not talking about that per se. So Remedy, that's one of the little Easter eggs I always do, is that in every game they've made, they always have some or other show happening in the side. So in Max Payne, there was Max Payne 2. Every TV you find would be a new episode of Lords and Ladies.
Oh, yes.
Okay, remember that? Lords and Ladies, okay. Alan Wake did have that. What is it called?
It wasn't called the Twilight Zone. It was called...
But it was like a rip-off of
it. It was a rip-off
yeah.
of the Twilight Zone, 100%.
So what I'm talking about, there is that in this game. It's called like Astral Kids or
Astral Chain. Hell yeah.
No, it's not Astral. It's something else, but it's like a kids show almost.
Oh, okay. Teletubbies.
Okay, not like that, but there are actual lore pieces where it's not like a spin-off show. It's a scientist that has worked in this lab that's telling like almost like think of like those instructional videos, like, oh, hey, it's your first day.
Okay.
But he's explaining like this is an object of power, but it's a
so
live
like that Captain America. Like,
that's exactly the
cool.
perfect example. It's like this is an object, and it's
so you
real
find
actors.
yourself in detention.
Oh no, you find yourself in the Bureau of Control.
Yeah. Fighting the
Oh
hiss.
shucks, fighting the hiss. Yeah, but I'm very excited to play more of this game.
Okay.
It feels good, combat's good, and it's very pretty. And the story is intriguing enough that I'm like, I want to find out what's going on. I wanted to play more last night so I could actually expound more, but my game's not working at the moment. So I've got some weird.
And you spend time in a fantastic looking lobby screen.
God, last night was just not a good night for games.
Good gaming night, yeah. Neither was mine. I just drank.
You just drank.
And I'm like, man, I really need to put time into Astral Chain.
How's it hanging? So last night, before I wanted to play more Control, I thought I would spend some time in the Modern Warfare Alpha.
Beta, Alpha?
I think it's an Alpha.
It's just the 2v2 mode, right?
Yeah, it's called... Is it not Gunfire?
It's not Gun Game.
Not Gun Game. It's basically, it's their new 2v2 multiplayer mode. There's an open alpha this weekend available to everyone who owns a PlayStation. So by the time you listen to this, sorry. But I think there will be more in future for PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
But it's basically just I suppose an opportunity for them to test their servers and get some feedback
and marketing.
And marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, like let's play that. Oh, let's play the new. Let's see the new engine."
Yeah.
Does
it? Well, okay. So did you actually get into a game?
So I did get into a game, but before I get into that, I don't know what it's called. Is it Wingman? Is it Gunfight?
I think it might be Gunfight, actually.
I think it's Gunfight.
Yeah.
It's basically just a new mode in Modern Warfare where it's 2v2 quick fire rounds where both teams start with the same loadout. You're not customizing your loadout before you go into a game.
But they're randomized
so
loadouts.
They're randomized loadouts, but you'll start, for example, with maybe you have a sniper rifle and a pistol. And you always get grenades. All four players have the exact same kit. Which is cool because then it's no longer a thing of customization is fine, but it's not a thing of like, man, that guy's just got a bigger clip size, or he's got that scope is really nice, and I've got this shitty iron sights. It's literally no excuse. You all have the same gear. Let's see who does better than the other team, whatever. I think it's the first to 7 wins or 6 wins, and the rounds are so quick. The maps are small. A round will last maybe 10 to 30 seconds, if that. If people decide to camp, what happens is a flag will spawn in the middle, and you can win the round by capturing it. I think you have to stand next to it for like 5 seconds.
That's a clever mechanic.
Yeah, so it stops people like really drawing. So the point is that the rounds are very quick fire. So I thought I'd dive into that mode, give it a bash, and I was greeted with a lobby screen for a good hour. Honestly, it was a thing of where I loaded the game and then it said like, sorry, can't connect.
I can't believe you even waited that long.
No, I was clever. I had shit open on my other screen. I was like watching YouTube or doing other shit while I waited. Then eventually it's like, okay, you're in a lobby. Finding match. I was like, oh my God. But I thought about it. I wonder if it's because it's location based.
Everyone as well.
But I think it might be location based.
Oh, is it?
So maybe it looks at your ping and it's like, no, we're not going to put you against. We're in South Africa. We're not going to put you with your 100, 150
it's trying to match
ping.
you with close people. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was against local people because one guy had a clan tag called Puss.
100%.
Which is South African. Yeah. Wow.
Fuck, that's embarrassing.
So yeah,
anyway,
I've got 3 games under my belt. That's about as much as I got to play.
And does it feel good?
It feels good. It's fun, but it's one of those weird things where when it comes to shooters, I prefer keyboard and mouse, particularly because I've been playing Counter-Strike. So I was very frustrated that I can't like snap as easily as I'm used to, but it is what it is. If I play long enough, I'll get used to it again. And it feels good. The new engine looks good on PS4.
I really like the UI. It's a lot simpler.
It's super simple.
Yeah.
But visually the game's finally got an overhaul, which I think is long overdue for Call of Duty. But in typical Call of Duty fashion, it runs at a beautiful 60 frames per second. No hitches
compromise on that
ever. Yeah. But that's good though. That's their thing. I mean,
that's their thing,
are you ever going to have a 30 FPS Call of Duty? No, you never will.
That's Battlefield's problem.
My first game was shitty because my team left me, so it's 2v1.
Wow,
so it doesn't
what an
really
asshole.
count. Okay. But the other 2 games were fun. Like you'll have variations each round. You'll start a round, like I said, a sniper rifle and a pistol, for example. And it's not. It becomes a thing of what do you guys do. You might think like, shit, let me hang back and chill with my sniper rifle. But you might also think, well, that's what the enemy's doing. It might be beneficial to rush him with a pistol. They won't expect it. So there are little levels of strategy, which I imagine will be very cool in proper competitive scenes, or if you're playing with a friend. Like I was playing with random, so we couldn't really communicate. But if I was playing with you, for example, it'd be a lot better of like, okay, you camp here, I'm going to go check it out, or like, let's break, or let's move together. That I think will be a lot of fun.
How many rounds do you have to win the match?
It's 6. I think it's 6 rounds. 6
So you have
to
to win
7.
6.
Yeah, but they're so quick. I mean, a total game will last not even 10 minutes. I'd say.
That's awesome.
It's super, well, depends. If you get to like 6 rounds a piece, whatever, then maybe.
I like it. You get your fix and then you can get out.
But yeah, I mean, assuming when the game launches, obviously the matchmaking, well, I hope the matchmaking works. It'll be so quick to get in and out of games. And that seems to be the trend with a lot of games where Apex sort of got a lot of hype more than Fortnite because it was getting to a game is so much quicker. You land and it's like, you're in and out of a game, you land within 10 to 15 seconds. Whereas Fortnite's not a good example. PUBG is the one where you like parachute for 4 years to get down.
And you sit in that fucking waiting lobby for like a whole minute before. And like the game pace is just much slower.
Yeah. So if this game, if it will work as intended, I presume, you get into a game very quickly. You can have 5 to 10 minute games and it's fun. Like I'm keen to play more. I'll try a bit more this weekend, but I can't really go more than that because I've had 3 whole games under my belt. In the span of, I waited an hour to find my first game, and then even finding the other 2 was queuing up and then waiting like 10 to 15
Were you
minutes.
playing Switch while you do? Oh no, you said you
no, but that was it's
Astral Chain, man.
Should have been, but it's an alpha. That's what you're gonna do.
It's an alpha and it's free to everyone, which is cool because it's like it didn't require PS Plus or anything. So yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but I've been meaning to try it. So yeah,
we'll get to it.
So I've been my last game.
Last game
is one I touched on last week called Remnant from the Ashes. And I must admit, if I'd spoken about this last week, I probably wouldn't have done this game justice because when I was playing it last week, I was kind of like iffy on it. But now that I've finished it, I'm like, man, this game is like a dark horse of the year. It's really good.
I've had a lot of good sentiments around it.
My review's up on GameSpot and I gave it a 7, which is a fucking good score. People are like, 7, why'd you do
Oh my God, you hated it.
Like, 7's a good score, man. So, like, the elevator pitch for this game is, and it's a very reductive way to explain it, but it's essentially a Dark Souls-ish action-adventure that has the third-person shooting of something like a Gears of War. It's not cover-based or anything, but it just... the way you look over your shoulder and the way the guns feel, it reminds me a lot of Gears of War. And it's Dark Souls in structure because you find these big red crystals, which are basically like your bonfires. And like you fight through dungeons, and then at the end of the dungeon, there's usually a boss, and then, you carry on opening up the world in that way. It doesn't have the really complex and interesting world design of something that From Software does.
But they like on their own level.
Yeah, no, they the way their levels like envelope on each other is like just fucking mind blowing. But it's still really fun. It feels a bit more linear, but like I can go through a place, I shoot a lot of enemies, I get to a boss, and it's a satisfying gameplay loop. What is different is that Unlike a From Software game where enemy placements are fixed, this one, whenever you die or re-enter an area, the enemy placements are changed.
That's quite cool.
And it kind of works with a sort of like a Left 4 Dead AI system where it will adjust the density of enemies as you're playing.
Based on how you're struggling or winning.
Exactly. So if I'm like winning, suddenly like 1,000 ads will just fucking appear everywhere and just come at me. And it feels really dynamic and it works very well in that way. It always feels like each skirmish is a nail-biting like fight. It's really fun. So the thing that really bugs me about the game is like the story is just nonsensical garbage. I really just don't like it, and I think it's very boring. So I didn't really engage with that much, but I think it's got a cool look. It's like set in the 1970s and like this post-apocalyptic world back then. So all your weapons are like cobbled together scraps and they look kind of like old and whatever. But then the coolest part is that every boss you defeat will drop a item that is specific to them.
Okay.
So you can either use this item to craft a weapon or sometimes a mod. So a mod is just like an alternate fire that you can attach onto any weapon. But the weapon or the mod in question will be like a power that the boss used against you. So for example, there was one boss that his whole thing was like teleporting right under me and like hitting me.
Oh no.
And when I killed him, I got a mod that allowed me to basically shoot a bullet and teleport to that bullet if I wanted to. So it's like using the pieces of boss battles that irritated you to like be better in the future, which I thought was really cool. And like one of my favorite weapons was this like fire-based submachine gun, which I got from killing this like dragon, which was fucking awesome. Like I thought it was great. Cool. So yeah, it's a cool game. Like I finished it within like 15 to 18 hours, around about there. And there's like 4 main worlds, and all the worlds are like really visually diverse. They look really beautiful.
Who made this game? Sorry, as a matter of interest.
Gunfire Games, the people who made Darksiders 3.
Yes, okay.
This game flew under the fucking radar. Like I only heard about it about last month, and then I looked up some gameplay. I was like, this actually looks pretty good.
I only heard about it this week, and when people said exactly how you described it, it's Dark Souls with guns, basically. Like,
essentially.
That's an interesting premise.
And in the first few hours, I was like, this doesn't really feel like it's like blending that well. Like, it feels like, to me, it always felt like I would either die immediately or the game would feel too easy.
Yeah.
But then I realized that was just like part of the pace of the game. Like bosses are really hard because they can kill you really quickly. But when you figure them out, you can melt them in like 30 seconds. So it's never like a 20-minute boss fight like in Dark Souls. But it's like figuring out how aggressive you need to be and how you need to maintain your ammo counts and stuff like that. And when you get that, you're like, oh, okay, I understand the rhythm to this game. And then it just clicked. Like everything was just like, oh, I'm in this great pace. I'm going through the world. The bosses are just like really interesting and unique in their abilities, and I really like them. So yeah, I really enjoyed the game. I have a few problems with it. I think the upgrade requirements for weapons are way too high sometimes. So
you have to grind out stuff.
Yeah, you have to grind out, or you do what I did, because you're not really limited. I never felt like I was underpowered for an area. So what I ended up doing was just upgrading 2 of the same guns all the time and sticking to the same loadout for a lot of the time, which sucked. That's especially so with weapons you cross from bosses. They need a whole new other rare resource, which is even rarer. And I'm just like, that fucking sucks, because they're the most interesting weapons. And I'm like struggling to use them because like when I get it, it's basically useless. I need to upgrade it.
Upgrade it.
So yeah, there's a little bit of balance issues I find, but you can play the game with friends, up to 3-player co-op, which is fun.
Cool.
And whoever's hosting, their world will be different to yours, because every time you start a campaign, the campaign rolls like a route through it.
Yeah.
So the boss order will be different. The structure of the world will be slightly different.
That's cool.
So it's kind of cool. Like I've been chatting to Nicola a bunch, and he's like, "Oh, I fought my first boss," and I was like, "We had different first bosses." And now he's fighting this boss, which is like 2 enemies at once. I'm like, didn't even see that boss. So like, I kind of want to play it again and just see what I missed.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's really good.
Cool.
It's only $40 as well, which is a steal. So yeah, it's dark. Yeah, it's fucking good. I liked it a lot.
Would recommend.
100%.
So you did say you gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I finished it. The last boss is some bullshit. The last boss is like it's interesting, but it has a whole different rule set to all the ones before it that I took a while to figure out what I even had to do. And then when I did figure it out, I'm like, this just feels unfair. Like, not in a fun way. It's just like, this feels so luck-based. And so I didn't like the last boss. But other than that, very fun game. Very would recommend.
That's something that's really up my alley. I mean, the
would 100%
one thing I learned this year is that I really do like the Souls-like.
And you'll like, I think in co-op, like, because I played it all solo, and I think I missed out a bit on it in that regard. So if you do pick it up, we need a jam. It's fun. Wait, don't we share Steam? Oh, we share Steam libraries, but you can't play at the same time.
Boo. Sounds like you, me, and John Michael need to.
Yes,
because he's also a bit of a Souls-like
I'm keen for that. We'll enjoy it, and we'll crank up the difficulty.
He's been asking me, he's like, so Alessandro mentioned he's reviewing that game. Has he said anything else about it? I'm like, no, but we'll talk about it this week. Then
he'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. I'm like, it's not on From Software's level, but I was pleasantly surprised at how competent and great this was.
My only question is, so when I think about Dark Souls, part of what makes it so challenging is that it's melee focused. You have to be up close and personal to bosses. Like, how is that with the weapons? Even though you can, I suppose you can stand from a distance and far away, or how is that sort of balanced? Or
you can. So that was the thing that I felt didn't really work in the first few hours, because I was like, I'm sticking so far away from enemies and just popping them off,
just chilling. Yeah.
But then the game starts realizing like it can throw lots of enemies at you, and it's very good at balancing its guns with. There's very few guns with high magazine counts, and when they do have them, they are very close range and very low damage.
Okay.
So a lot of the times, like snipers only have one bullet in the magazine, so you're trading range for like reload speed. So it tosses them up quite nicely, and then bosses also make you reconsider certain things. Like some will actually try keep distance because it suits them, and then some will rush you, like
like no,
and then others will be like you'll fight them and then they'll disappear and regenerate health. Like, so you've got to stay like really aggressive on them or something.
If you run out of ammo, is that not a thing?
You can. There's even a resource like like potions, whatever. You can carry around ammo boxes. So during boss fights, there's always ads. And I think that's part of the reason why, because they need something to drop ammo.
When you say ads, you don't mean like adverts.
No. There's little baby enemies.
We're going to take you out of this boss fight to tell you about our new sponsor.
But then you have this resource where you can just refill ammo, and I used it once or twice. It's even you've got a thing called the Dragon Heart, which is basically like Dark Souls Ester flasks. So it's like you can upgrade it, and it's got like 5 charges, and I can heal myself. And the dodge roll is really good. I like the dodge.
Cool. Yeah. I had one other question. Do you get abilities like magic spells, or is it just pure gunplay?
So you've got 2 guns, and then you've got a melee weapon.
Okay, so you do have a melee weapon.
Yeah, you do.
Well. Okay.
Yeah. What's weird is that rolls and sprinting take stamina, but melee swings don't. And I found that pretty strange.
That is, because Dark Souls,
so
those games, it is just
swing like I was like hitting it out the park. It was great.
Damn.
But what you do get is this thing called traits, which are like. So normally you'll have stats like, I'm increasing my attack or my stamina or whatever. So this one works in that you only unlock a trait when you achieve a specific thing in the game. Like you find a specific area, or you beat a certain number of bosses, and then you can pour XP into those traits. So like I can increase my reload speed, or I can increase the time it takes for the animation to heal, it can be faster, stuff like that. And there's like so many. There's probably many that I didn't even find because they're specific to what you do in the game. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
I like this game a lot.
Yeah. How much do you know how much it is? Is it a
$40? Yeah.
$40.
$40.
You played it on Steam.
I played it on Steam, yeah. I actually I started playing with a controller, but then I changed to mouse and keyboard.
Oh, really?
Like, this is good.
Oh, man.
Mouse and keyboard, I was just popping headshots like nothing else.
Third person, though.
Yeah. But man, my accuracy was so much better. I was just...
It's such a weird thing, because when it comes to playing shit on PC, I'll often use a controller unless I'm playing a first-person shooter or RTS. But weirdly enough, with third-person shooters, which is still a thing about you've got to aim, I'll just tend to prefer a controller, but I'll take your word for it.
It depends. Like I've played Gears of War with mouse and keyboard, but I've also played that for years with a controller, so I just feel more comfortable.
It feels, But I think about, say, Tomb Raider, or let's say Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
I play that on PC.
That would be a controller.
It's a controller game.
Climbing and stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's controller.
Yeah, but it's such a weird thing because you still have to aim, you know?
Even
You know
control,
what I mean?
the little bit I played with mouse and keyboard. And then
Oh, no,
I asked Jeff,
I'm
I was like,
using-
controller? He's like, yeah,
The
controller's
thing
way
is,
better.
when I think about games like that, also I'm playing it with my controller, but when I think about games like that, keyboard and mouse, I'm like, yeah, the aiming will be precise, but what about abilities?
powers
and
and
this?
yeah,
Whereas the
that's
controller's
essentially
like, you've got shoulder buttons, you've got tons of just easily accessible things that aren't
That's why
out
I
of
think I
reach.
played Remnant with the mouse and keyboard, was because like, even though I have abilities and whatever, like the main focus is like I need to be
Your
really good
gunplay,
at shooting, and because of that, like I could just focus on that with mouse and keyboard. So yeah,
So that's
because I can't imagine like you said Tomb Raider, like climbing up a mountain using like
Space bar.
WASD, like fuck that shit. No.
spacebar, WW space.
Yeah, no. Let's no.
Controller's the way. Imagine playing Uncharted with a keyboard and mouse.
good lord.
Wouldn't work.
Good lord.
So that's your 4 new games this week.
Hell yeah,
Huh.
we did it.
We did it in an hour.
It only
Oh
took,
God.
it only took 65
my
episodes,
gosh.
4 episodes.
For that, yeah. I don't know if we've ever done it before.
I don't think we need to rush through game releases for next week because it's basically the games we've been speaking about.
All these games.
Remnant was out this week, so it's out already. Control and
out.
Astral Chain are both out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
What a Tuesday!
So,
Holy shit!
so if you're listening to this, it's only going. Are we going to do it Monday evening or Tuesday? I don't know. We
I
have
need to double check the
embargo.
embargoes. Yeah,
Yeah, but apologies for the episode being late. It's purely for embargo reasons.
yeah. I just didn't want
It
to.
doesn't make sense to push out this
No,
about a week.
no,
We want
by a whole week,
talk
no.
about it on the week that it comes out.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. So I mean, waiting a day as opposed to waiting 6 days to talk about it, like, just made sense. So.
Hashtag logic. So that's your game releases.
Should we get to news? Because there was, I mean,
Oh,
it
man.
was fucking Gamescom this week. So
Oh, there was a game announced that you shared a trailer of yesterday. What is it called?
Ghost Runner.
Ghost Runner.
Yeah, man, that game just looks like
That
Mirror's Edge and Doom.
That
in
is
one.
exactly my first thought was Mirror's Edge, but it's also like Mirror's Edge in a new flashy futuristic cyberpunk
It looks so
world
good.
where but it's also like proper platforming where
And it's like puzzle platforming
yeah,
as well.
you gotta wall run, grapple along to certain places, and like that looks really good. Oh my, I've seen this. Fortnite's
just
controversial mech has been nerfed, and the header image chosen is a
It's
mech
a RoboCop mech.
shooting kittens, cats.
Fucking amazing.
Wow.
I love
What a
Darren
gift.
so much. I love him.
So what happened at Gamescom that was
There was a
breaking
bunch.
news?
Like, I think Gamescom got like really hyped beforehand, and I was like, man, they're really going all out. And then the conferences didn't really hit in the way that I thought they would.
Yeah, it was pretty
Like,
lukewarm. There weren't
yeah.
any major surprises. I mean, my personal highlight for obvious reasons is Ori's coming to Switch. But there were rumors of that before, and we sort of knew it was going to happen. But the fact that it's confirmed, I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Funnily enough, Microsoft did say it's the last exclusive that will appear on a rival console.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
It is interesting, but I do think, well, what other games would they put on?
I think they're being very coy with the wording there. I think they're saying, yeah, this is the last release we'll have. But what if we just release xCloud? Then we're not releasing anything on a rival console. We're releasing
just
it on our platform.
platform, yeah.
I think that's honestly what they mean.
Yeah.
Because xCloud is imminent. So
Yeah, my only sad takeaway from that is that the Ori sequel won't be on Switch, apparently, as like a proper release.
fuck, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that kind of sucks.
I mean, what about the Cuphead DLC? Is that going to come to Switch?
Well, Cuphead's got announced for Switch.
Yeah, no, it's like, no, Cuphead is on
Cuphead
Switch.
is on Switch. Sorry, I'm
But,
saying it got announced for Games Pass. Yeah,
yeah.
so will the DLC come? I
Oh,
don't
was
know.
Cuphead not on Game Pass?
Nope.
That's
Which was
interesting.
peculiar, yeah.
Yeah, because that's not really a first-party title, but it's basically an Xbox.
Yeah, now it's coming to Games Pass, which is rad because that game is
Boy,
fucking awesome.
I need to get
Also,
on.
I still haven't finished that game. 'Cause it's hard.
You also haven't finished Ori. We
I
can't
got to
be
like the
friends.
third. I got to like one of the last worlds, and there's a boss in Cuphead that's like a bee, and it's fine. Like you do it, and in a final phase, the beehive starts filling with honey, so you have to fight
have to do
her
it
while
quick.
jumping up. Fuck that shit! Like I cannot get it.
You can do it.
I hate. Yeah. Anyway, I love that game. So yeah, a lot of the hands-on stuff at Gamescom was like stuff that it was small variations on stuff that we had played at E3. By the looks of it, Need for Speed Heat doesn't look that good.
I think it's weird because in terms of customization, I'm like, that looks good. All the shit you can do. But I don't know. And like we said, I think last week, the story looks very cookie cutter. stereotypical underground racing. I don't know what they're going to do.
Be free.
They tried to take away our freedom, so we drive. It's like, okay.
It's just so.
And you think I'm putting on that voice that it's basically
It was
that.
basically that. It was pretty bad. Yeah. What other stuff? CD Projekt Red said that Cyberpunk 2077's map will be slightly smaller than The Witcher's, but also
But it's a lot denser.
which
I mean,
makes 100%
If you
sense.
watch the gameplay demo that they showed last year, I don't know if that'll be in the final product, but if it is, you walk through that
crazy.
city, it's a living, breathing city. It's insane.
Absolutely crazy. It was the first thing when I first saw footage of it last year at E3 that I was like, this is incredible. I don't know if they'll nail this. I have no idea if this is what it will look like.
I still can't believe they're aiming for current gen consoles.
Yeah, that's what blows my mind.
I really thought they were going to push it till next gen, but
that's
And
I don't know.
One other little tidbit of information: they said they're going to reveal. They're going to release
like
the
15 minutes
new
of-
gameplay video. I think it's end of August.
It will probably be a supercut of what they've shown at E3 and at Gamescom, because from what I can tell, the footage they showed at Gamescom was the same.
That's fine.
Yeah, and it was like we watched. It was like a 40-minute walkthrough of a level, which was really combat focused, which I liked. So if they supercut that down, yeah.
Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight, yeah, that's still coming out. John Wick Hex,
which also looks really cool. On Marvel's Avengers, was there any better sentiments? Because I think official gameplay was released.
So they released the tutorial walkthrough, which is what I saw at E3
I haven't
behind
watched
closed
it
doors,
yet.
which is what really got me down on the game, because I was like, this kind of looks boring.
Yeah.
But I know Brad, I think it was Brad, he got hands-on time with it.
Oh.
And they saw some other footage like outside of the tutorial, which kind of shows the overall structure of the game, and he came away far more impressed.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe there's something there, because like after E3, I was like, this seems like a train wreck. Like for a game coming out in less than a year, this does not seem like it knows what
When
it's
is it
doing.
out? Is it May next year?
2020.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
I mean, if release dates mean anything anymore.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, yeah, Brad absolutely adored Final Fantasy VII
I mean,
remake.
I don't. When E3 rolled around, I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought that Cyberpunk's going to just win all the awards again.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII remake cleaned up a lot of awards,
man.
which is.
I'm really excited for that game.
Did you see the new characters announced for Mortal Kombat 11?
Yeah. So we've got the whole roster now. We've got the T800?
Yeah.
Or whatever. The
Arnie
with the red eye. He's coming. We've got a really, really shitty looking Joker.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I was like, okay.
He looks kind of like the character design is not cool. I don't dig it
But
at
it's
all.
also such a surprise because I know in Mortal Kombat they're not one to shy away. Well, NetherRealm's not one to shy away from weird character inclusions. But the Joker, I'm still like, he's a bad guy, but he'll get.
But he's also an Injustice. Like,
yeah. I want to see his fatalities though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now
because
they
in
can,
Injustice they don't have fatalities.
It was dumb. They had, but it was like very dumbed down. So what are they going to make this do?
This design is so
It's weird, yeah.
bad. I really don't like it. Anyway, so we've got Terminator on October 8th. We've got Sindel, which was rumored for
A long time.
November 26th. Then Joker in January. And then the last one is Spawn, which is pretty cool.
man.
Todd McFarlane's Spawn, who I fucking love the design of Spawn. I think he looks
very
awesome.
cool.
So T800, I was right.
Yeah. So this is the first character pack. I imagine there will be more.
I assume
in
there'll
future,
be more. Yeah, I assume.
But it's an interesting roster. I
Yeah.
quite like it.
Remedy's new game controls absolutely bonkers.
If you guys
Yeah,
haven't
it is.
watched that launch trailer,
It's
I would
fucking crazy.
highly recommend it. It's very cool.
Um,
Borderlands 3 is in like 3 weeks' time.
This header. We're just looking at a Gigantamax Pikachu with a weird face, courtesy
great.
of Darren again.
Oh, Darren. You make us lol. Doom Eternal hands-on. Nice.
Yeah. Sega like shadow dropped a Yakuza collection.
Oh, damn.
Well, they're basically bringing Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 back to the West with a remaster collection, and Yakuza 3 like dropped on the day that they made this announcement, which is awesome.
That is a lot of gameplay if you buy that collection.
That is
Some long-ass games.
crazy amount of gameplay, yeah.
Damn.
It's coming to PS4, if you're interested in that.
Just on Yakuza, it's a weird thing because it's a sort of game I thought my brother would not enjoy.
Oh, is he absolutely into
He
it?
picked was it Yakuza Kiwami or whatever on PlayStation Plus.
That's the remake of the first one.
He finished it. It's like,
yeah?
damn, I would never have even thought to recommend it to him because I just thought maybe it's doesn't interest him. He finished it. I was like, damn.
He should play Yakuza 0 then. Apparently,
for someone who doesn't have a lot of time for games, you make the time to finish Yakuza.
It's
Damn,
a long game. It's a long game.
Yeah.
Because he took like months to finish Uncharted 4. So
and he took months to finish God of War as well.
Yeah. Fuck. This was big news. Sony acquired Insomniac Games.
Which, it's big
Which
news,
is interesting.
But at the back of my mind, I was like, but Insomniac's kind of always, like, besides Sunset Overdrive, they've always been PlayStation.
They were,
people,
like, most of their big projects were PlayStation projects, and then they were doing, like, Oculus stuff on the side. Like,
but it's a cool pickup for Sony. I mean, we know there's going to be a Spider-Man 2, I presume.
Yeah, there's no way Sony bought them without those plans.
Without that, yeah.
I'm almost certain there's one already in development.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man's now become Sony's best-selling exclusive ever.
It's also some drama in the world of movies.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing, man. It's a
Marvel and Sony having a big old fight. Well, I think it's, from what I've heard, it's more Marvel.
Marvel's sounding more and more like the bad guy in this situation. Yeah, it sounds pretty
It's funny
bad.
that, so just for quick context, Marvel and Sony apparently are failing to come to an agreement with Spider-Man in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, when this story broke, it's weird how a lot of people just pointed fingers at Sony, saying
They're like, fuck Sony.
Sony's the bad person here. Just give us Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it turns out that, well, the more we hear about it, it seems like Marvel
try
being
to change their
assholes.
revenue split from 5% to 50%. So it's like you're just blinking at them. Like,
Sony basically keep most of the profits from the movies. Marvel keeps all of the profits from merchandise,
which is a lot.
Okay. Yeah, which is a lot. But now Marvel are like, okay, we want to keep our 100% in the merchandise and
50%
have
of the movie.
50% of the movies as well. Which is like that's
and also Sony's bankrolling the movies.
So it's like that doesn't make sense.
That makes absolutely
really
no
makes
sense.
no sense.
Yeah. So
whatever.
I just hope they come to an agreement, because I think the only people that really lose out here are fans. And even though people are like, oh, maybe this is a cool change for Spider-Man, and Sony can make a good Spider-Man movie, which Into Spider-Verse was dope. So yeah.
Yeah. But I love Tom Holland.
I love him in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. Especially after Far From Home, they set him up as such a big player. In that scene.
Yeah, I'm like, well, if he's not in the MCU, what are they going to do? Like, oh no, Peter Parker.
Oh, Peter Parker died. He got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do love the memes that have spawned from this. It's like there's the one with the what's the kid from The Simpsons? It's like Uncle Ben. No, the other. What's his name? The memes like chuckles, I'm in danger.
Oh,
It's like,
yes, yeah.
It's like Uncle Ben chuckles, I'm in danger because they're gonna kill him again.
Another fucking origin story. Ugh,
Yeah.
God. So
Okay,
Insomniac Games, pretty cool. This game
Have you
looks
seen this game?
unbelievable.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So there's a game called Creature in the Well.
Explain it.
Let me just read the title for you. So Brad played it at Gamescom. He says it's an exciting, intriguing blend of dungeon crawling and pinball, which is, it sounds so weird, but if you watch, there's like a 3-minute trailer from the devs that dropped this week.
Which what was weird is that it wasn't part of Nintendo's indie showcase.
Yeah,
I'm like,
why
this
not
should
show
have been
that?
there. This was
I
an
can't wait to
incredible
play
game.
this.
Yeah,
So the premise is something. Actually, I can't for the life
you're in
of
the
me remember.
desert trying to activate some
You're
machine.
trying to activate machines and shit, but you go about doing this by sort of hitting shit with the ball. Like it's, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It doesn't seem like there's enemies. There's like puzzles and very reflex-based action scenarios where you're hitting balls and they have to hit bumpers or whatever in certain orders or in a certain speed. And it just looks like, I don't know, balls are flying around the area, and I think if they hit you, you can die.
Yeah, I think it's like almost like a shmup, but it's
You're
not
hitting
against
the ball
enemies.
around. Yeah, it's fucking cool.
We can explain it, but it doesn't do justice. I'd advise watching the.
Yeah, the
3
trailer
minutes.
does a really good job.
It explains it so nicely in 3 minutes, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's got such a great like art style. It's like these flat colors with almost like this weird like perspective shifting. It's
Look
really
at the main
cool.
character. Okay, we've got a
like
robot. Okay, he's
yeah.
holding a glowy ball in his left hand, almost like a. I don't know, it looks like a bat, but it's not really. It's like a piece of
It kind of looks like a
machinery.
futuristic baseball bat. Yeah,
He's got one glowy eye and a cape.
very
There's
cool.
no more badass than that.
I'm
very
I'm
cool.
super, and it's out like very
Soon,
soon.
yeah.
I'm very very excited for that game. Oddworld Soulstorm, the latest Oddworld game, is going to be an Epic Store exclusive
Oh damn!
because
Who would
people
have
are
thunk?
angry about that. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Respawn had a bit of a week.
they were asshole. Some of the devs were assholes on Reddit.
Yeah, but I think 100%
Which is,
justified as well because, man,
Yeah,
the amount of
it's-
shit that they take.
No, I can imagine that, but it's still like, oh, okay, calm down.
And even then, they said it in a kind of like a joking way. They were like, most of our players are freeloaders, and we love that. And then people took exception to being called a freeloader. But it's like,
Well,
if you're not spending on the game,
then you are a
you fucking are a freeloader. Like, that's what you are. Like, accept it, embrace it.
The truth hurts.
But what's weird was that Respawn CEO Vince Zampella came out and said it was inappropriate of his devs to make those comments, but at the same time he was like, but you need to understand that they are working,
Very
really hard
yeah.
and also suffering like vitriol comments from the community. So he's kind of like saying like, sorry they did that, but fuck you, we're also under a lot of pressure. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a weird situation. Boot Fighter. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, well, I'll just touch on it. It's a locally produced game about
Boots getting into fights.
Boots getting to fights.
Basically Benoni on a Wednesday.
Can I just tell you though, this is an upcoming local game. The release date's supposedly next month, although they did they did say it could be pushed out depending on whatever. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's like a disclaimer at the end. It's like this long, quick paragraphs like launch date next month, blah, 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 like in case, maybe not in case shit happens, whatever. But that game, it's so weird in that I've seen this forwarded on, shared, and just spoken about by everyone.
Yeah.
It's weird how even non-gamers are like, oh, hey, have you seen this? I don't even realize, maybe they know it's a game, but they just enjoy the trailer enough to share it. Like, look at this funny trailer.
I just think it's really depending on a South African audience because this sort of theming and humor doesn't work anywhere else. I don't know
if it's going to go anywhere else, but I think locally it's definitely going to sell.
But even then, like local games, I mean, this is my experience of engaging with a lot of local developers. Like, the South African market, even though there's a lot of noise made about it, is tiny.
Yeah.
It is minuscule. Like, I think Broforce, not even 1% of their overall sales came from South Africa. Like,
yeah. And a lot of local people supported that game.
Exactly. So it's like, it's cool because the game actually looks really cool. Like, the whole beat 'em up stuff is really cool, but I wonder, like, they're so hard into the South African market that,
But it's one of those things of,
it's a risk,
will the game be good enough that people overseas who play it don't really care for the little subtle references that we'll understand?
Also true.
So I don't know. Like, it might make or break the game, but we'll see.
Final Fantasy 8 Remastered launches early in September.
3rd.
The worst Final Fantasy.
Look, it's not.
Get out of my house.
It's not my favorite Final Fantasy. I wouldn't say it's the worst though.
Squall.
I think people who
has
put
gunblades.
it. Yeah, look, the weapons are awesome.
Yeah.
I think people who have it on such a high pedestal like Darren and then played it like at the time. So imagine playing Final Fantasy 7 and that blew your mind.
Well, I feel the same about Final Fantasy 7. I don't think it's a great game, but it's not like fucking.
But listen, Final Fantasy 8 gets a lot of shit.
Okay,
you have like there's no middle ground. People either love it or hate it. There's no like I'm the middle ground actually.
Yeah, I hate it, but I've actually never played it.
You've never played it.
I just like giving Darren a lot of shit.
So, but what I'm saying though is that Final Fantasy 7 came out. People are like, holy shit, this is a cool game. But remember, Final Fantasy 7 was a weird, like. In the overworld, you've got blocky characters, but then in the fight screen, you've got like realistic characters, and then the cinematics are like semi-blocky, semi-realistic characters, like weird art styles just happening to make the game work on the platform. But then Square Enix sort of figured out the platform, I guess, because Final Fantasy 8 looks like a very big jump forward in terms of...
It was also on PS1 though, wasn't it?
PS1, yeah.
It's crazy.
So when you look at it, you're like, damn, those two games, like it looks like Final Fantasy 7 almost came out on a previous gen console.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So they made Final Fantasy 8 work and it looks, I mean, by today's standards, it might look great.
Well, some of the updates they've done to this remaster
it looks
cool,
good.
yeah.
But I think people played it then. Those are the people who love it. Like, holy shit, the jump from 7 to 8 and the story is good. I played it way long after the fact, maybe 6 years ago. It came out in like 98 maybe.
Yeah.
And look, it's not my favorite. I thought it was a very slow Final Fantasy. Like the combat was very slow. It felt a bit sluggish, but I still enjoyed it. It's got some of the best music in the entire franchise.
I just really hate the name Squall.
Squall, the characters, like none of them really were my favorite, but combat and stuff, like I enjoyed it. It was not my favorite, but I did enjoy it. So I'm happy for people like Darren and Umar and those excited that are getting a modern day, well, not like a Final Fantasy 7 grind up remake, but a modern day version.
Yeah, a way to play it with a bit of all the sprucing
if they include the sort of quality of life things they've included in other games, like speed up the battle mode and that. Like, shit, hell yeah, I'd consider playing it again.
I think that's it. Minecraft getting RTX support, which is pretty cool.
Did you watch that RTX trailer?
Yeah, man, holy shit.
Minecraft is gorgeous with RTX.
Unbelievable.
When you put RTX off, it's like, damn, this game's ugly.
I wonder if that's why they cancelled the Super Duper Pack thing.
Maybe.
Because it's just so coincidental that, hey, last week this really big update, graphics update is gone. This week, fucking RTX, woo!
God damn, yeah. Okay, let's get to our questions. What is this? Okay. Do we have any questions on Twitter? I know we got a lot of emails. Let's see. Oh, in other news, TR9 is happening. At time of recording.
TI has been going.
Wow. The time of recording, OG is
are they
in the final?
The final, the grand final. And PSG LGD is in the low bracket final.
So the final three, it's LGD, Team Secret, and Team Liquid fighting it out for that last
Team
spot
Liquid has taken game 1 in the series against Team Secret.
Oh.
Fucking hype.
God damn. It's been a good international.
It's been such a good international.
Can I tell you the time difference has worked out in my favor?
Yeah.
Because I actually am lucky enough to be able to have Twitch open at work.
Fuck my life.
So just having it on the screen there and doing work, and then every now and then hearing the commentary go wild, looking like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
They're going for Roche!
And then it's like the game's done and there's usually this downtime and I don't care for the drafting anymore.
No.
So then I like 100% like, cool, I'm working now. But the game starts off, I've got my
way too long.
It's too long. I don't like it.
It's like half an hour, man. It's fucking weird. Did you see the thing with the lines where the guy misclicked and picked it? So I never knew it happened until I saw Kotaku write an article about it. But in Alliance's last game of the TI, they meant to ban gyro and they ended up picking it.
Oh no!
And they've got like audio from inside the thing where the captain's like they're busy discussing. They're like, okay, cool, we're gonna ban gyro or whatever. And then he clicks. He's like, oh my God, did that just happen? And they're like, pick gyro, and the rest of the team is going, we can make it work. And he's like, oh my God, that just happened. And he like looks at the judge. Because they haven't adjudicated that. And the dude just shrugs. He's like...
Well, you did it.
And then the other team... who were they playing? Was it LGD or was it Newbie or Vici? The other team saw the pick and they were just like, what did they just do? And then one teammate is like, they've got their head in their hands. They're done. They fucked up. Like... It's so bad.
Shame, man.
And that was like the weak link of their game. Like, it just didn't work. So
shit, man. Look, drafting is important, but it's definitely not... I just prefer watching... the game happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Put the strategy aside. Let me just see it in action.
Let's get to questions.
We have a lot.
If you want to send us questions, Twitter, at Checkpoint Chat on Twitter. You can email us, checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can Facebook us, facebook.com/checkpointchat. We've got lots of emails.
Question number 1 from Mix. He says, greetings, Chopang Chen. Just getting that CPC
Wait,
acronym.
where? Didn't you miss one?
No, I've opened it now.
Oh,
maybe that's why it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't show. Oh, no, what?
Because there was one before that.
What?
Communication.
I don't know. Okay, well,
let's go for that one first.
Oh, we're doing this one first.
Morning cheese pancake custard. I like that.
What is your
a cheese pancake custard? I'd eat that.
Oh my! What is your preferred means of communication? Voice, either in person or via video or recorded voice, mail notes, text messaging, or the lucky few telepathy, thought transfer. I wish.
I wish I had that.
God. Mick says, I prefer messaging due to being able to access it anywhere and anytime. Also, any subject of conversation.
That's not true. You can have really inappropriate conversations over text, and then it's there forever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I like text.
Look, text is my go-to. I'm not a big fan of picking up the phone and phoning people, to be completely honest.
I do the voice note. Voice note is
I'm not a voice note person.
That's a lie. You voice note me. We were the voice note people on. Yeah, but we defended that shit.
I do it more to piss off our group.
And it's very fun. Yeah, it's very fun. I do it when so I shouldn't be messaging at all when I'm driving, but or if I've got a long story I don't want to type out, I'll voice note. And people get so agitated at voice notes, and I don't get it.
Can I tell you why people get agitated with voice notes? When you send a voice note, are you one of those few? Actually, one of the. Everyone who sends voice notes, it says...
We're getting a voice note from the dogs now.
But you're like, what? You're sending a voice note? You spend the first 10 to 15 seconds saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm sending this voice note.
Okay, no, fuck that noise, yeah.
It's just quicker than typing, but I'm driving.
It's like,
and
I
you're
understand
like, okay, just send me the voice note. It's fine. Just say, like, get to your story.
Just
you that
show
person?
me Frodo throwing the ring in the mountain.
Just
Don't
show
give me the journey.
Skip the movie, yeah. Just get to your story.
No, I'm not like that. Most of the time I just voice note Shani because like she'll be driving or I'll be driving and we understand like that. Or when I have a long story.
Do you say, no, you hang up?
No, you hang up.
No,
this is a voice note.
No, you don't voice note.
But yeah, messaging. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I also love Twitter. Like Twitter as a platform for messaging
Twitter's
is fucking
life,
awesome. Yeah. Okay, you can go to your email now. Sorry, I derailed you.
Okay, so greetings, Chopang Chain. Are there any musical genres or close variations of one that you absolutely cannot listen to? Afrikaans, Traffers, Sad Country, and Mumble Rap top my list.
Wait, where the fuck are you getting these emails?
Musical
Oh,
irritation.
there. I had opened it up before. That's why I didn't see it. My bad.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the question?
Are there any musical genres or close variations of one that you absolutely cannot listen to?
Afrikaans.
Well,
Absolutely cannot.
Would you like Macy?
Treffers.
Socky. Captain.
No, hell no. Yeah, no,
Listen,
I can't.
My wife's mom is Afrikaans, so I've got Afrikaans in my family now, which means I have to Socky by default.
Are you taking offense to me? Listen,
No,
I don't like
offense.
Afrikaans music. I also don't like fado, which is like Portuguese.
Yeah, Fado's
like Portuguese opera.
like-
It's fucking
it's
garbage.
so sad and
it's
like
garbage.
I
I hate
I
my
don't like
grandmother used to love it, and I'm just like, this is so painful to listen to.
you can't Socky to a Fado though.
You could try.
You could try to be
Could
very,
break dance
very,
to a fado,
very slow,
like very sad, like just fucking break dance.
slow dance.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
No, but in general, I listen to a lot of different genres. So
Look, yeah. So with me, I'm a very easy music listener. I think if I listen to something enough, it grows on me. Like to an extent, you know. There are certain earworms that come from many different genres that just stick in your head. But I'm not.
I love that word, earworm. It's great.
Right, it's a weird thing.
It's such a visual thing.
Like, get out my ear.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a big fan of like death metal. I guess.
Yeah, like the extremes of every genre get too extreme.
Look, I've got nothing against anyone.
Maddie's dying.
Good lord, someone's cast a
Guess
spell
we'll
on
never
me.
get to 65.
No, I'm dying. Look, like whatever floats your boat, but me personally, I'm not a big fan of. Like, I understand there's an art sort of like scream singing, whatever.
Like, I can
but
appreciate
it's just
that.
not for me.
Yeah. I'm totally
Really
the
not for
same.
me, yeah.
Like, I enjoy rap, but then you start getting into like really weird, like, what's the thing now on SoundCloud, like mumble rap? And
No,
shit's
that's what
fucking
Mix just
shit.
said, yeah.
So, yeah.
But like with death metal, I can appreciate the skill that goes into the people who
Like, oh
drum
my
for
God,
that
that
shit.
drummer looks like he's burning
that
400
drummer's
calories.
like, it looks like he's at a spinning class.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, okay, that's insane. But
Lately,
yeah.
I've been listening a lot to the soundtrack from Hades, Supergiant's game, and it's phenomenal.
God damn.
It's like Greek-ish sounding Supergiant. Yeah, because it's like set in Greek mythology.
God
But then
damn.
it's like mixed with rock. It's fucking awesome. As the kids
I'm
would
keen
say,
for that game.
It slaps.
It slaps, bro.
It slaps.
Let me mumble.
Love that rap song.
Next question. It says, for shizzle,
Sup?
clang ping chu.
I feel like we're getting into racist territory here.
How is Alessandro's foot doing? Has the gout subsided for good?
I haven't had an attack in months, so I guess. I don't know. We'll see. One day I'm going to wake up and not be able to walk again, so
Oh my God. This is a hell of a question. Okay, it starts out gasp, California, Paris, Canberra. Alessandro.
California, Paris, Chimera. Oh, Canberra. I don't even know what that
Alessandro,
is.
the one of many impossibilities has happened. Lenska received a PS5 dev kit.
Why Lenska?
Do you either ignore it, or it needs to be completed in less time than it took to finish Persona 5? Trade, give Lenska something she wants more than the item in question. Report it so you know of the mistake.
Fuck that.
Steal because you have to put your stealth moves to good use.
I do have good
Convince,
stealth
use your
moves.
bond with Matthew to give you the dev kit. I consider the straight answer there.
Straight answer there is trade.
Yeah, you have to. Lenska will be like, what do I do with this PS5 dev
Exactly,
kit?
that's true. Or you would be like, I don't want Sony to come like knock on my door.
No, but I'd be like, cool, I've got a PS5. What
No games.
do I do with
Yeah,
it?
it's also true. Yeah.
What do I do
I
with
can make
it?
cool games.
Cool, man. Yeah. I think Lenska will happily trade it. They give her a Lammy or something else, and she'll be like, sure, take this PS5 dev kit. It's all yours. Is that the option you go for?
Yeah, I think I'd trade. I'd keep her very fancy pen hostage. And
Lammy.
Yeah, Lammy. Is that the name?
Lammy.
Did you
Lammy
name
for
your
life.
pen?
No, the brand's called Lammy. German brand.
Lammy.
Lammy.
Do you love your Lammy?
I love my Lammy.
Sounds like you love a sheep.
Mary had a little Lammy.
Oh my god. But yeah, I'd probably try. I don't know. Like you said, you get a dev kit. It's like what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's cool paperweight.
It would be fucking cool. Be like, hey, I've got a dev kit.
Nice paperweight.
Hell yeah.
Hello.
Then Sony would come knock on my door. They'd swat me, except the swat would be there for real.
The actual PS5 SWAT.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, put the console down. Next question. Hello, C. Just like that. What is your favorite dessert? Fresh, not baked cheesecake with any or no topping is my utmost favorite.
What? I'm this complete opposite.
What do you
Baked
like?
cheesecake is fucking life, dude. Fridge cheesecake
is good.
sucks. I hate fridge cheesecake.
Listen, I'm an easy dessert eater.
I'm assuming that's what he means, because fresh, not baked cheesecake, it has to be fridge cheesecake then. It's the one that sets in
assuming.
a fridge. But like, baked cheesecake is, oh man, Chateau Gâteau in Illovo.
Chateau
I always
Gâteau.
talk about it, because they're Andrea's baked
Wait,
cheesecake.
sorry. Say that. What name is it?
Chateau
Gâteau.
Gâteau.
I went to them for the first time this week.
Yes.
One of my colleagues, she's like, their choc chip cookies are the best. And they are massive. They're 17 Rand and they are delicious.
So let me give you the lowdown on this place. They're little, because they have so many things you can buy.
And they are expensive, but the
yeah.
shit looks good.
Like the slices of cake, very good.
Yeah.
The little desserts, they're like, oh, this is a mini this is a mini key lime pie or a mini little chocolate thing. They're garbage. They're shit.
Well,
They're all
I know.
shit. I had a little tiramisu there, terrible.
Not worth it.
But their cakes, oh my god,
They're good.
Andrea's baked cheesecake. We had it when you were here for my birthday.
Oh, was it from there? Interesting.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
it's
cake
good.
is so good.
That's really
It's
good.
my favorite thing in the world.
I can recommend their choc chip cookies as well.
Yeah.
It's so good.
They also one dessert that is good. They have a chocolate lava, like it's like a little round like cake thing,
Yeah.
and the chocolate inside is like melted.
It explodes.
It's like, so good, so
It's
good.
an eruption
So
of
wait, sorry.
chocolate.
What is your favorite?
We haven't even got to
Pastei de
me.
nata?
Look, I like pastei de nuts, but it's not my favorite dessert. Will I consume millions of them given the chance?
You're never
Yes.
getting into Portugal again.
I know.
Bol de Roche.
I like.
Roche dos.
Rouge
Roche dos.
No, they're those R's rolling. Shiny would never survive in Portugal.
Nope.
Shit. I'm just a sucker for good old ice cream in general.
Yeah.
But there is one dessert that comes to mind, which my mom used to make all the time. Hasn't made for years. It's called hot cold pudding.
What is that?
It's such a weird thing because so the hot part of the pudding is supposed to be like melted chocolate. My mom never does that. She does
She makes
the
cold
part.
pudding.
Yeah, but it's hot cold pudding. I don't know what it is, but it's crushed up tennis biscuits with I don't know what else goes in it, but you put it in the freezer and you take it out. It's almost like an ice cream, but it's not. It's cold and it's just delicious.
So it's
got
like lots
a
of
bit of
cream
crunch
and
to it.
lots
Yeah.
of tennis biscuits.
Yeah.
Tennis biscuits are good.
It's and you're supposed to put, like I said, hot chocolate, but you don't even need that shit. It tastes so good by itself.
Okay.
Now that I
okay.
think of it, my mom hasn't made it for years. I should tell her.
You need to ask her because I want to try
Like,
this.
what's going on? Hot cold pudding. Yeah.
Hot cold pudding.
And other desserts, shit, I don't know.
Ice cream is a good one for me. We ate a lot of ice cream in Madeira and very good.
Creme brulee is a good thing as well. Do you like creme brulee? Yes, no.
I
Wait, I
like creme brulee. The one that you break on the top, like.
lemon meringue pie, hands down. Love it. Love it.
Ooh, I could have a lemon meringue pie. I'm not a huge fan of the meringue part, but the lemon like curd is like, oh my goodness.
You don't like meringue? Get out my
No,
house.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of meringue.
Next question. Cough. Why is Mick starting all of these clippy point checkers?
Maybe he's sick.
Last week, Matthew mentioned making a bit of cash from Counter-Strike drops. For way too long, I did a similar thing with Steam trading cards. Here's a short version. Buy games that have trading cards at low cost. Run games until the cards are extracted. Sell cards on the Steam marketplace. Profit over time. Spending speed during the sale. I sadly can't go too in depth about how I do it in a public space, since the methods I use can be considered as either bending the rules or even breaking them.
Oh my god. Should we have kept you anonymous?
Even though there's no theft on either side.
I'm pretty sure they're not that like considered bending the rules. You're buying a game, you're getting cards, and you're selling them. That's part of the system. So
It's what it is.
I do the same. I mean, I don't actively go out and look for cheap games with cards or whatever, but like I'll get cards from games that I play and I'll sell them because I have no fucking use for
you're
them.
like, I actually have a shit ton of cards. I can.
Yeah,
They could be sitting on $1 million right
and
now.
they far more expensive when you can sell them for more when the game's new because people are still
People
building
buying it,
collections.
straight up.
I will say that when they changed us over to rands in the store, that became far less profitable.
Yeah. Goodbye.
But yeah, it's cool that system's there, and I just get rid of cards like that, honestly.
Last question. Morning, crunchy peckish chompers. If Matthew is reading this email first, then the email client is set to show newest email first. If it's read last, it's set to show oldest email last from that sender. Good day. Regards. It's not even a question, so much as an observation.
Oh, that's so good.
I'll take it.
Got him.
We got him. I don't think we had
Got Matty.
I don't think we
You
had
know
any.
exactly how his email's processed now.
I know. I don't think we have any questions on
On Twitter.
Facebook. No, Twitter we've got nothing.
Wow. Rude,
We got
guys.
sweet nothing.
Rude.
Migs
feel
is
offended.
keeping the question boat afloat.
But
Am I using the wrong gifts here? I mean, did you see my gift? Look at this.
cute, man.
It's a little cat tapping the
He's
shit
just
out of it.
booping this dog, and this dog's like, I will fucking destroy you.
This cat is not booping this dog. This cat's like, I will fight you. and
and then the cat's
shit,
like, I'm out.
shit. I'm out.
I like
Sorry,
it.
what were you saying?
If you want to leave us questions, just like good old Migs, and find out the orientation of our email boxes,
Do tell.
Do tell. Checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com or Checkpoint Chat on Twitter @CheckpointChat
Yes.
or Facebook.com/CheckpointChat.
Facebook.
Facebook.com. Yeah, we sell meat as well.
Oh my. That's
Matty, we
it.
are over time.
No, but we still did good.
We did
considering
good. 4 games, no game releases, but we got you the ones that count.
We got you all the important information.
Yeah.
If you like what you
Bit
heard.
of news. Got to talk about Creature in the Well. Fucking stoked for that
so
game.
good. The Tokyo Runner, whatever, the Ghost Runner, whatever, all that game.
Wow. You're mixing like 2 games. You're mixing that horror game, the Tokyo horror game.
Honestly, when you sent that trailer, I was like, oh, did they drop a trailer for this game? And I was like, no, this isn't the same game.
Completely different game.
Completely
Ghost
different
Runner,
game.
yeah. Fucking looks so good. I'm so
It
excited.
looks good. If you guys like what you heard on today's episode, even if you didn't, don't be scared to leave us a little review on your chosen
feedback.
platform. I investigated some platforms today. A lot of them have room for reviews. Like
You guys
one
slacking.
of the weird platforms, I think it's Stitcher.
Yes.
You can 100%.
I think that's the one you have to pay for, though.
No.
Yeah.
I test honestly on Anchor. I clicked all of our
Links
off, and you can listen
directly.
through the browser. You don't even need to download it to
Interesting.
the app.
Because I know some of them
Wait,
are...
maybe Pocket Cast. There's one.
Yeah, there's one of them
I
that's
know there's
paid.
one you have to pay. But yeah.
Oh, no, Stitcher has Stitcher, and then it has Stitcher Premium, like a Spotify thing.
Okay.
You know?
You can play all of them directly from
They're
your
all
browser.
drug dealers. They hook you first, and then they
Oh.
charge you. Yeah.
God damn. But if you like or don't like what you hear, let us know why. Tell us why you like us, why you hate us. Drop a rating and leave us some comments.
Would appreciate
Stop what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Stop the car.
Stop the car on the side of the highway. Send that 5-star review.
I wish Matty would stop being so bossy. It's fine. Tell me.
Yeah,
You're being
exactly.
too bossy.
Exactly. We're being bossy, but we're telling you not to do it while driving.
Matty
This is
says
responsible.
Medeo's too much. Stop it. It's
Please.
my Portuguese grandmother doesn't let me listen to Checkpoint Chat.
in the car. My Portuguese grandmother's offended that you said Fado is shit.
Well, Miguel is Portuguese. I don't know if he's listening with any.
Listen, Miguel, if you like Fado, it's garbage.
Tell us. We're done.
Thank you for listening.
Goodbye.
We'll be back next week. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.